Hello, Steve Farragher here. Continue with the video blog concerning our desire to move our operations from Holt Road to a vacant piece of land on Prescott Road, which is laid vacant for 18 years, belongs to the City Council, and we're having real problems getting the City Council to even contact us, let alone make a decision on it. Just a bit of background, really. We have been sort of informally requested that our landlord wants to take back 53 and 57 Holt Road. We lost the bike project through a fire at Christmas. The landlord took back two of the shops. So the bike project, On Your Bike, has not been operating since January, which means that our volunteers who work there have had next to nothing to do. We also... we're just about to lose the bakery because that's the next shop along. So it's a bit like the domino theory. One's going, then the next one, then the next one. And the next two projects that we run are at the other end of the building, the other end of the block. And that's the community cafe, the Croissant of Inequality, and the radio station. In talks with the landlord, I don't think the press on with getting ownership of or getting back these two places just yet. I think they're giving us a bit of time, bit of a breathing space. So in the meantime, for the last 3 months, we've been trying to access this land. It took us a while to find out who we had to talk to in the council, but we found out they do have a community asset transfer. Community asset transfer is when the council has something they're not using, like a piece of land for 18 years, and then giving it to a community group like Kensington Vision. And the idea would be that we'd relocate all our projects there. We'd have a new bakery, a new bike shop, a cafe on the ground floor, radio station on the first floor, and some space at the back for other organisations to rent out. And on the top floor, there'd be 3 flats, 3 apartments, whatever you want to call them, 2 big ones and 1 small one. So we could actually generate income from being part of the growing Liverpool tourist accommodation, tourism in Liverpool. We're quite close to Liverpool football ground, so we think you'd get a lot of use from football fans from around the world coming there and around Britain, of course. And we're also close to the city centre. We're a short bus ride from the city centre, so if people want to come to Liverpool, live in a real area as well, somewhere where there's lots of diversity. There's a couple of great restaurants, and a couple of great international food shops. So we finally found someone who came back to us and said the land was originally purchased for housing, and that was the last message I got from that officer. I requested to look into whether they could open it up for. I'm laughing, you see, because they've had it for 18 years, and all of a sudden, when we're interested in it, they've suddenly thought, "Oh, it should be for housing." Now, to set a precedent, there was a thing called, I'm not going to go into this too deeply, but there was a thing called HMRI, which is the Housing Market Renewal Initiative, which was under the Labour government, and they gave councils money basically to knock down houses and rebuild them, and this land was paid for with that. There was lots and lots of land around the city which had buildings, so houses knocked down, and new houses were supposed to be built in there. And there are instances of that land which that money was used to redevelop the land, has buildings on it that aren't houses. And one example quite close to where we are is the Edgehill Medical Centre, which is not a house. That's the top and bottom of it. Also, Liverpool Football Club have quite a lot of land at the back of the main stand. They've got a piazza there now. I think that's what they call it, and a shop. And all that was built on money from HMRI. So there's precedent set all around the city where buildings have gone up which aren't anything to do with housing on land that was bought by HMRI. So I think we've got a good case there. I've actually sent a Freedom of Information question to Merseycare, who built the health centre, to see how they managed to get the land off the council. without actually building houses. So that one's still in the air. I've actually sat down and wrote a letter to this officer because she doesn't answer her emails. I won't say who she is. I might do in the next one if she doesn't answer. So I just wrote a letter to her the other day and just said, have you had any thoughts or made any decisions about this land? Because owning the land or being given the land is crucial to us taking this project ahead. I can't get any funding for it unless we actually got the land. Otherwise, I'm getting funding, not under false pretenses, but for something that can never exist on that land. So that's that bit sorted out. I also, because of the lack of speed from this officer, have written to the city commissioners, which are the government-appointed people who are in the city trying to make the city function better. The city does have a plan, 22 to 25, which they talk about investing in local social economies and social enterprises. Oh, the phone's falling over. Social enterprises, which I consider we class ourselves as. We've had a short conversation with the Key Fund in Sheffield, and they're sort of willing to consider what we're doing. And another organisation called Kindred, which is Liverpool City Region. It's an investment organisation, an investment company. And I've also just put an inquiry into an organisation, national organisation called Nesta, who will lend social enterprises up to £1 million. That is a loan, not a grant, so we would have to pay that back, which, the building is planned to make money and create jobs in the area, create opportunities for people. What else have we got to say? Oh, yeah, I've been in touch with a container company in Staffordshire who make the type of buildings that we want. They've got a track record all across Britain of making quite large buildings made out of shipping containers. And I'm asking them to put together a ballpark figure. So I've got some more information to use when we're making the application. So at the moment, it's a bit like, I'm going to say pissing against the wind. You sort of can't get the land, so you can't really go forward and think, well, we need X £100,000 to do it. So you feel like, well, how much is it going to cost? Are they going to sell us the land? Are they going to give us the land? Are they going to rent us the land? Are they going to rent us it on a 25-year lease or 10-year lease? As a 10-year lease, it wouldn't work because we'd never get a loan for a 10-year lease. And I keep going back to this. The Littlewoods building worth £1 million was given away for nothing. It didn't cost a penny, and was given away with a 250-year lease. So why can't we have it? Answers on a postcard to Steve Farragher, 53 to 57 Hope Road, Kensington, L7, 2 p.m. And the best answer will win a prize. I don't know what the prize is yet, but I'll sort the prize out. So follow me on YouTube, follow me on the LCR Facebook page and on my page, which is DigiWay. And that's about it today. So we'll see you all soon. I'm just going to get my COVID vaccine because I'm one of these people who does believe in COVID vaccines. I haven't sort of gone off on some bizarre conspiratorial thing. All right, see you soon. Or pop into the cafe. I'm around most days. Have a cup of coffee and have a chat with me and tell me you think this is a good idea. I've not had anyone say it's a bad idea yet, by the way. This is the funny thing about it. If someone turns up and goes, this is a terrible idea, creating jobs, rehousing all the projects, bringing extra life and enterprise to the area, is a bad idea, because I don't think it is. Thank you. Steve Farragher, News at 10, Kensington.